Mistaking the CEO for a Gigolo novel audiobook. Chapter 7. Make her pay the price. Kyle. Is he talking to me? Faced with his silence, the man bent down to respectfully ask. Kyle. Are you here to see Mr. Seet? Well, he just left. Mr. Seet. He sounds important. The wheels in Juan's head turned. Since I don't know how I am gonna find mommy, maybe I could. He cleared his throat and took on the regal stance of a leader. I was sent here by Mr. Seet. Mr. Seet. That's a formal way to address his father. Well-mannered as always. I guess this is expected of the Seet family as little prince. Even so, the man remained cautious. Kyle. Did Mr. Seet, your father, he emphasized, give you any orders before sending you here? Juan was secretly delighted but showed none of it on the outside. All he did was nod his head as he quickly adapted to the situation. Yes. My dad sent me here to look for a woman. The man's eyes widened in realization. A woman? Was it the one Mr. Seet said not to let out under any circumstances? As soon as Juan heard that, his eyes darkened. No wonder mommy disappeared for such a long time. She was held here by that old pervert, Mr. Seet. His small hands balled into fists by his sides. Yes, that's her. Bring me to her. All right. Follow me. Kyle. Soon after that, Juan was brought to the door of the room Nicole was held in. With a wave of his hand, he ordered, open the door. Several bodyguards who were on duty looked at each other and hesitated. Kyle. Mr. Seet ordered us not to let this woman out. My dad personally told me to take this woman away. You dare go against my dad's orders? Well, the bodyguards were caught in a dilemma and also found it a little strange. Why would Mr. Seet allow his son to come alone and take the woman away? Not to mention, Kyle had always been reluctant to speak. He would say less than 10 words on a good day. But today, he was acting the exact opposite of how he usually was. To be safe, one of the bodyguards suggested, Kyle, I think we should call Mr. Seet first. It might be better to have someone with you when you send this woman back. Juan instantly panicked when he heard this. If they make the call, I'll be exposed. How will I save mommy then? My dad needs to see her urgently. If this matter is delayed, I'll tell my dad that you disobeyed a direct order from him and deliberately made things difficult for me. When that time comes, you'll all be in deep trouble. Deliberately made things difficult for him. Everyone knew that Kyle was the most beloved prince of the Seet family. Hence, they would never dare to cause trouble for him even if they were given 9 lives. If Kyle complained to his father about the bodyguards, based on the latter's overprotective streak, they were afraid to even imagine what kind of cruel punishment they would have to endure. With that, they weighed their very limited options and finally decided to do as Kyle said. The door abruptly opened, and it startled Nicole, who was pacing around the room while racking her brain for a way to escape. When she saw Juan standing just beyond the threshold, confusion lined her features. Juan was afraid that his mother's reaction would blow his cover, so he quickly spoke. Hey, you, my dad wants to see you. Follow me. As he was speaking, he also gave Nicole a furtive wink. At first, Nicole was shocked by what he said, but after seeing his meaningful wink, realization dawned on her. Is Juan here to save me? When Juan noticed that his mother was dripping wet, his brows instantly knitted together into a frown. He didn't just lock mommy up. He even made her soaking wet. That Mr. Seet. I'll make sure we get even. After we leave this place, I'll make sure to pay it back to him. Stop stalling for time and come with me, Juan urged. He turned on his heels and walked out with Nicole scampering after him. At Hillside Villa, Mr. Seet. Kyle fell asleep after drinking his medicine. He kept mumbling about wanting his mother in his sleep. Blake sighed with heartache when he spoke about this. Evan, however, stood by the windows with an expression as cold as ice. He wants his mother. That woman. Who the hell does she think she is? Who gave her the right to do this to Kyle? Evan clenched his fists as a glint of malevolence flashed across his eyes. He abruptly whipped around and snatched up his coat before walking straight out. Where are you going? Mr. Seet. Where am I going? I am going to ask that woman how she can so shamelessly live her life. I am going to make her pay the price. Without a single reply, he sped towards the Passion in his Rolls-Royce. Just then, Evan's phone rang all of a sudden, and he quickly swiped to answer. After answering the phone, his brows formed into a small frown right before he made a sharp U-turn, heading towards the company instead. There was an urgent crisis at the company, and he had to call for an emergency meeting which lasted for 3 hours. After the meeting, Evan returned to his office. Clearly exhausted, he sat down and leaned back against his chair, his whole body exuding weariness as he massaged the space between his brows. When he thought about the woman still locked up in the room, he immediately made a call. How is the woman? The woman, Mr. Seet. Wasn't she taken away by Kyle? Welcome to download the Bravonovel App. Read the novel Mistaking the CEO for a Gigolo online and get the latest updates.